Okay, I feel like I just need to jump on this topic of high value men and high value women, because I am noticing and I have seen quite a lot of people start getting on this topic, talking about it, how to be a high value man, how to be a high value woman, and to, date from a place of wholeness, because I get it. There is so much distortion in dating. A lot of us have come from very wounded backgrounds. And it is time, it is literally the time to start healing that, which I get why a lot of people are starting to talk about this. But there's like still so much distortion. Certain people talking about this, which I get, like, everybody's learning, which is fine. But I do feel like this is a space that I'm being called to step into. It's actually something I have been wanting to, but just mostly talking to like the divine feminine and how to be in your feminine energy, because ladies, it is a beautiful thing and it does not have anything to do about looks. Okay. So I guess this is going to be a little bit of a rant, but I don't care. So I did come across someone, I won't name them because this isn't about, like naming people. And I get that certain people are on this like learning journey. Totally. Absolutely. But I came across someone just talking about like how, you got to be good looking amongst the rest. And that just puts us back in this freaking competition, which we're not supposed to be in. We're supposed to unite. We're not supposed to compete with one another. And like how you attract the person that you're looking for. Like, okay, yes, they have to be attracted to you. I do agree with that. But thing is, looks resonate differently to different people. Obviously, if like you have, I don't know, like you're really not taking care of yourself, that is actually coming from a wounded place in yourself. Because, you don't have the energy to take care of yourself. You don't have the energy to exercise or whatever, right? Because you're dealing with pain or trauma. Either you're aware of that or you're not. And that is taking more of an emotional toll, right? Like, oh my gosh, I've had so many like times in my life where I didn't look great. And that was because internally I was dealing with a lot of pain. And even when I was transmuting that pain, my body was releasing it physically, and I did not look great. I knew that. I wasn't my best self. I knew that. But I knew that that wasn't like who I really am either, right? I knew my body was going through something that needed to release, right? And it's important to start within, to start looking at your pain, looking at your trauma, looking at all the wounded places within yourself. And it's hard. It is a hard thing to do because you're carrying not only your own pain, you're carrying the pain of others, like your family line. And that takes a toll. And it can be very scary to look at, right? But when you can start doing that, and you can start unpacking it, and you can start alchemizing that pain, you start to connect to yourself. You start to connect to your own wholeness, to your own fullness, to your own radiance. You start remembering who you are, and you start remembering your worth. And when you start tapping into that, you naturally start to radiate. You naturally will start taking care of yourself, and you will express your natural beauty. And do you know how magnetic that is? Like, I'm sure you have come across a person who maybe by society standards aren't like a 10 out of 10. Notice I said society standards because they always change, right? They might not be a 10 out of 10, but because they have tapped into who they truly are, their own magnetism, their own radiance, their own worthiness, and they know their worth. Like, they don't need validation. That is the most attractive thing in either a woman or a man. Like, when you can stand in your worth, in knowing who you are, in knowing that you have done deep inner work to alchemize your stuff, to understand who you truly are and stand solid and firm in that, oh my gosh, it doesn't matter who you are, you become so attractive. I have come across people like that. And like I said, by society standards, okay, guys, they weren't a 10 out of 10, but they were able to attract a person who, I guess you could say by society standards, was really attractive. And guess what? It had everything to do with their energy, because they didn't care. They did not care what society was saying. They did not care about all these check marks and standards. They knew who they were inside, and they radiated from that. And knowing who you truly are is the most attractive thing in a person, because that's undeniable, right? It's embodiment. Like, this is the missing piece here, guys. This is the missing piece. Like, I am seeing some of these people who talk about this stuff, and like, they're missing the essence of what's really needed here. And it's the energy, the embodiment, the healing work, right? It's not just the outer shell, because the outer shell can lie, but embodiment can never lie. It is the solid structure of who you are. And then you build on top of that, right? Yeah, I'm probably gonna start talking more about this, because I have come from a place of like, I've dated different people. I've been in different dynamics. I have went into a journey the last year of really coming back into my own heart and realizing, like, you can't get these like you can't get the things that you're looking for from the outside. You have to come inwards. You have to get that, and then you start radiating that. You start becoming a magnet, and you start attracting those things to you. So anyway, I'm gonna end it here. I hope that makes sense. I don't want women to fall into this like, oh great, now I have to like spend money on like looking a certain way to attract a certain person. I'm telling you, that fades over time. That fades if you haven't done the inner work, whether man or woman. Like, you're just never gonna get the type of relationship that you want. Even if you're with a very good looking person that is like, again, I'm using the term like, you know, by society standards, because again, let's face the facts. We're bombarded with, this is what, you know, a good looking person is. And then like, women do so many things to themselves, and I'm sure men do as well. And that's not the point. This is why I'm here with my natural hair, and I really don't care. I don't care. I do my hair, but today was not the day, and I don't care.